Now, people think of Oakland County, they don't really think of homelessness as being a problem, but that's what your nonprofit agency out of Troy works on. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
You're exactly right. Well, let me give you a little bit of background about us first. We've been around for about 10 years now. We started out working very closely with the Oakland County Community Mental Health Authority. We still do, but in addition to our work with them, we've started working with other organizations, the Oakland County Task Force on Homelessness, and the federal government at addressing homelessness in Oakland County. Okay. And what we found is that Oakland County does have a serious problem with homelessness, and it's actually increased in the last couple of years.
Oh, wow. So what are some of the things that you're working on to help address that problem?
Well, in conjunction with the groups that I mentioned, we have written a number of grants, many of them to the federal government, to provide homeless leasing assistance. We are the lead agency for Oakland County's Homeless Management Information System, so we track homeless people and find out how many there are and where they're living and where they're staying right now, what services they're utilizing, and that sort of thing, so that we can understand the problem of homelessness better and hopefully do a better job of addressing it.
Right. Now, when many people think of homeless, they sometimes think of the person in the urban city who's living on a grate. Is that the real picture of homelessness?
Not at all. And homelessness varies from one community to another, but more typically what we're seeing is not the stereotypic adult male homeless person. I mean, certainly that guy exists, but a lot of family homelessness, a lot of single women with children who are homeless, and even whole families that are homeless.
Okay. And what are some of the things that you're doing to assist people in getting placement?
We help them to locate, to access additional resources. We first do outreach to help find people, particularly people who are chronically homeless, and then after we identify them, we help to get them linked with services and linked with affordable housing. Okay.
And is affordable housing a problem in Oakland County?
Yeah, I believe it is. I think that you hear so much about the foreclosure crisis and the falling property values and that sort of thing, and so some people figure, well, affordable housing can't be as much of an issue as it was, where it really is, because the incomes have fallen and there are a lot of people who were getting by before who could barely afford the rent on the place where they lived, where now they're not able to. So there is an absolute shortage of affordable housing.
Now, if someone's having a hard time with the rent or finding some place for them and their family to live, can they come to your location? You provide resources for them to help shop out a place to rent? Or?
We do. And I'm not saying that we are able to, provide actual rental assistance to everybody that we come across, but we don't turn anybody away empty-handed. We always try to find a referral or some sort of program that can be of help to them, and if we don't have one in-house. And we do have several programs that we work with, including the Housing Resource Center that assists people with disabilities and their families in locating housing, and serves the broader community by helping to plan for addressing homelessness and working, providing information and referral, and as well as the programs that we operate. We currently assist over 300 people with some form of leasing assistance as part of our permanent supportive housing program.
Okay. Now, in addition to there being economic challenges for housing, you brought this up with the Mental Health Authority and disabilities. How does that impact people?
Well, a very disproportionate share of people who are homeless also happen to be people with mental health issues. So by working in conjunction with the Community Mental Health Authority, we're out there working with their service providers right on the front line, helping to identify people in need and getting them hooked up with not only the housing that they need, but the supportive services that they need in order to be successful in their housing.
Okay. If there was like one thing you wanted people in the community to know about your organization, what would that be?
I'd like for people to be aware of our programs that we offer, so that they can avail themselves of them if they need them. And I'm sure that we'll make that information available through your program. But beyond that, I'd like people to understand that affordable housing and homelessness are important issues, even in Oakland County, and that there are ways, if they're interested, that they can help. And some of that could include simply being aware of it and and advocating for the funding programs that help to address the issue in our community.
Right.
But beyond that, if they want to get involved with our organization, they can. There's volunteer opportunities, donation opportunities, and we run internships and a variety of programs where people can help.
Now, I guess another issue might be, say you have an elderly couple that has maybe a son or a daughter that's living with them with a disability, and they're used to mom and dad always providing care for them. When do you advise someone to maybe start taking actions to arrange for a plan to take care of that child when the parents no longer can?
That's a great question. It's almost never too early. From the time the child's a youngster all the way through high school and through the education system, really they should be doing planning for the future. And that can start out not only with financial planning, but with figuring out what kinds of supports and services that individual might need, if any, in order to be successful in living in the community. So often we see families with family members with a disability who are keeping their sons and daughters at home while the parents are into their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And sometimes it turns into a crisis, and then the family member has to leave the home and that sort of thing. So rather than see that, we'd rather see a planned progression into adulthood for the person with a disability, just like the rest of us do.
Right. And oftentimes those children are labeled or qualified by the court system as developmentally disabled individuals. Is that correct?
Yeah, it doesn't go through the court system. It's they're diagnosed, and sometimes they may be eligible for community mental health services, depending on the Medicaid regulations and how they fit within those. But and oftentimes that is the case, and that there are supports and services available. So, and what we've seen is a trend where people, even with significant disabilities, are able to live actually quite independently if they receive the proper supports.
Right. Now, if someone wants to get in touch with your organization, either maybe to get help from you or to ask for your help or how they can help you out, how can they reach you?
They can call our office in Troy. The phone number is 248-928-0111. And if they have a question, they can start with the Housing Resource Center. And if they want more information about our organization and our programs or how they can get involved and that sort of thing, they can ask for Ann Osmer. She's our Community Relations Manager. And again, the number is 248-928-0111.
All right. And our online age, what's your website?
We have a website at communityhousingnetwork.org that provides all the information about our organization, and actually has a lot of useful links and resources in the website too.
Great. Well, thank you for being on Oakland Connection today.
Thank you, Tim.